Hi, welcome to another edition of On the Town. I'm Don Mackey. As winter approaches, people are again more conscious of conserving energy, conserving heat, the cost of fuel oil. Today, my guest is Kate Preissler from the Center for EcoTechnology based in Florence, Massachusetts. Kate, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, you're here to tell us today about
the Home MPG program.
The Home MPG program. I'm sure you've seen this advertised, and I know at the town hall there's flyers available for people to pick up. What's the Home MPG program?
The Home MPG program is a pilot energy efficiency program that's happening in 8 communities in the area right now, including East Longmeadow. And it's coming from federal money, coming from the Department of Energy and the Department of Energy Resources, our statewide department. And it's being layered on top of Mass Save. If you know the Mass Save program, it's our statewide energy efficiency program. It's what helps keep Massachusetts #1 in energy efficiency, which we are. And basically it provides homeowners and people with funds, rebates, incentives, different way to keep the cost of weatherizing your home really affordable and really achievable. And there's a lot of money out there, especially with this added Home MPG program. So we just want to make sure that people know about it, that they're accessing it, and they're taking advantage of what's out there to help them.
Now, so for many years, Mass Save has been out there encouraging people. How is your program different from Mass Save?
So Mass Save is the Massachusetts statewide energy efficiency program, and everyone pays into that through their utility bills. So whether you know it or not, if you're paying a utility in Massachusetts, you're paying into this fund that then the state uses to make weatherization and energy efficiency more affordable to residents. And because we already have this really great program in Massachusetts, when the federal government was looking to pilot energy efficiency projects, which they're doing all across the country, they decided to layer it on top of that program that already works. And so what you're getting with Home MPG is just better incentives, higher rebates. There are really cool components, like you have access to a non-biased heating specialist who can give you specific recommendations to your home, which isn't normally part of the program. There are really big new benefits for people who are interested in heat pump technology, which is a super efficient way to heat your home. It's a kind of newer technology. So it's just a lot of additional resources for people.
So traditionally, I think people think of, calling Mass Save and they come and put weather stripping around your door and blow some insulation in the attic. And I know that's not accurate, but I think that historically has been sort of the perspective that people have and wonder if it's worth it. But you're talking about really big investments in, heating systems, new technology, that kind of thing.
Although I would say most people do know Mass Save because of that, because the most basic things you can do to reduce your heating bill are to make sure your insulation is up to date and effective, and do air sealing, which effectively stops the air movement in your house and keeps the heat inside. So those are the 2 most common things that people have, and those are still true of Home MPG. They'll still recommend air sealing if you need it, and they'll still recommend insulation, and they'll just give you more. Through Mass Save, you would get up to $2,000 worth of insulation at 75% off, and through Home MPG, you get up to $3,750 of insulation. So it's just expanded. But yes, just because those are the 2 things that most people do doesn't mean that there aren't these much bigger, larger incentives out there that really can help reduce your money, and changing out appliances, as well as looking at your heating system, exploring a whole range of ways to invest in your home and make it more efficient.
And just give us a ballpark of some of the savings, sort of typical savings for somebody who is able to take advantage of this, program. I mean, average in Massachusetts, the communities that you've been dealing with, what kind of a savings does that represent for people?
I don't know that there's really a representative one, because the measures are so specific to your home. So it's going to matter, how old your home is, not just how you heat, but how you heat your water, what you already have in place and what you don't. Just by doing insulation and air sealing, you can reduce your utility bill and your heat loss by up to 30%. And that's just the most basic. So if you go bigger than
Right.
that, you're looking at real cost savings.
Yeah, so that's really significant.
It's very
And
significant,
you
yeah.
multiply that out, and you're talking just 8 communities, but certainly,
Mm-hmm.
statewide or in other states where these pilot programs are going. I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I do think the fact that we have Mass Save, which while it doesn't offer the full extent of what Home MPG does, it keeps Massachusetts really efficient, and we're doing a good job in this
So we're
area.
number 1?
We're number 1 in the country for energy efficiency. Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say 7 years ago, I'll use my mom as an example. She had Mass Save come in, and they did exactly that. They put new weather stripping around the doors, insulated all the crawl spaces, and I have to say, I now keep the thermostat really low, but it's I spend very little on heat based on that. But that was 7 years ago. Am I somebody who's a candidate to look at this again?
Yeah.
Because to me that seems like yesterday.
No, absolutely. Especially 7 years ago. I mean, technology's changing. Your heating system's aging, but also insulation ages. If it's external, if it's kind of open out in the open, it can get torn, it can fall, it can degrade. So people are able to access Mass Save every year if they want to, and you probably
Really?
and you probably don't have to do it every year, but every 2 years, every 3 years, it's something that's always available, and they're always going to be able to give you recommendations. And so technology, as I said, is changing, and you're getting that person in your home through that home energy assessment who will be able to tell you what your needs are based on the state of your home right then, and what's out there and available. The rebates change year to year as well. I mean, this Home MPG program is a really good example. If you had Mass Save 5 years ago, they didn't have half the rebates that are available
Wow.
here maybe, and there's going to be something you might want to take advantage of that you didn't know, and that'll be true 7 years from now too, that there's always new things being added or changed out.
So if I call Mass MPG because I'm interested in some of these additional opportunities for savings or energy efficiency, someone is going to come to my house.
Yes.
Now, is that someone from CET or someone from...
It's a great
So
question.
tell me how that happens.
So it's going to depend on how you heat your house, what utility you go through. So CET has a home energy division, and we definitely work with some of the utilities, and it may be a CET staff member, but there are also other organizations that do it as well. So it's really just going to depend on your heating situation. But it is, the home energy specialists are certified specialists. They've gone through training. They're all going to be knowledgeable no matter where they're coming from.
And they're all working for this program, whether... Okay.
Yep.
Just so that... And there's... So if you were to call Mass Save, you would get someone from a different pool of people, or not necessarily?
No, it's based on your utility, so it's all run through the utilities. So if you are
Okay.
Columbia
That's
Gas,
what I was trying to get at.
yeah, Columbia Gas in Massachusetts, or National Grid or Berkshire Gas, that's going to be what matters. If you call Mass Save will be able to connect you with the right number. They'll be able to get you into Home MPG because Home MPG is being run through Mass Save. The Center for EcoTechnology, one of the services that we also will do is if you call us and get a referral through us, we'll help you navigate and make sure you're getting the right person, the right phone numbers, the right
so
system.
let's do this right now.
Yeah.
We'll get the information up on the screen so that people know who to call, what number to call,
Yeah.
because I've just sent them all over the place.
Yeah. Well, the other benefit of just remembering the Center for EcoTechnology is that we are holding a raffle where Home MPG is kind of coming at the end of its 3-year run. And to celebrate all the good work that everyone has done and all the energy savings that have been realized, CET is raffling off in conjunction with Pioneer Valley Planning Commission and the Department of Energy Resources an energy efficient washing machine. So it's a nice substantial prize.
Wow.
But you do have to get your referral through the Center for EcoTechnology. So that would be the number to call right now.
Now, so when that person comes out, one of the things that you do that's really cool is the thermal imaging of people's houses. So
Yeah.
tell us how that works. And
Yeah, and actually with the Home MPG program, your home might have already had a thermal image taken and you might not even know it, because that is one of the features of the Home MPG program is many homes in the communities have had thermal images done, and you'll be able to find that with your home energy assessor. But they may also bring a thermal camera into your home, and basically what that's doing is it's taking a picture of the heat. And it really works best when there's a big difference between the inside and outside temperature. So now that it's getting cold,
right.
which is also why they are taking at certain times of the year. But it will show you really clearly where your house is leaking heat. If you have if you have a lot of heat loss in the roof area, you'll see that really bright light. You also see where any insulation has fallen. It's just a really visual way to understand how heat is leaking out of your home.
And when you see it, you can just like see that energy and see that money escaping out into the dark blue night.
But they'll also know exactly where to fill it in and
right.
tighten it up, and then once those are plugged, you'll be good to
so
go.
I'm going to read the number, and you're going to see it, you home viewers watching on your LCAT screens, 413-586-7350, extension 229. All right? And that's the number to call, and that will connect you with CET, Center for EcoTechnology, and you are really managing this program in Massachusetts in these 8 communities.
Yeah, we're working with the Pioneer Valley
Planning
Commission.
Commission.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And this raffle is being run through us, so that's why I recommend you do it now.
Okay.
And then call before November 22nd.
And the deadline for having the assessment done is?
The Home MPG program runs out at the end of the year, so you have to have your appointment for your home energy assessment before December 31st.
Okay.
You can have work, if you need work done after that, you can have work done through the spring, but that energy assessment has to be done before the December 31st.
In order to be eligible for these added dollars
Yes.
through Home MPG.
Yes.
Beautiful. Makes sense to me. So again, we're going to leave that number up. I mean, this is really an important thing, because I'll tell you, I think about this every day and say, well, there's really nothing I can do because the house is as tight as it's going to get. And really not being aware that there are now these additional incentives out there to really get people to think hard about what their contribution to energy conservation means. Certainly it's going to save on their electric bill or heat bill or whatever, but also collectively, and again, to go back to the numbers, 2,500 households saving 30% of their utility usage just by buttoning up the house.
Yep.
That's a huge impact. It's a
Yeah.
huge impact.
And one of the most flexible features of the program is a 0% interest loan. So if you have something that's not covered by a rebate, but it's pretty sizable investment, you can take that loan and use it. It has to be towards weatherization, heating, the energy efficiency. But people have used that for windows if they need windows. They've used it for solar, things like that. So
I was going to ask about solar.
Yeah, so that 0% interest loan is something that a lot of people take advantage of and can really give you the kind of flexibility to invest in something you might not have been able to otherwise.
Very cool. Now, we're talking about residential, and this is really to promote the residential aspect of this because the deadline is looming, but are you also involved in working with either commercial enterprises or municipalities and doing the same kind of thing?
Yeah, the Center for EcoTechnology has both a home residential department, but we also have green businesses. So we work with a lot of schools, we work with a lot of businesses in the area. A lot of what we do has to do with energy efficiency, but also waste reduction. So if people are looking to set up recycling programs or composting programs, we've done a lot of that. And then also just there are a lot of incentives through the Mass Save business side of the Mass Save program out there for businesses as well. So helping business owners connect with those and kind of reduce their own energy use.
Very cool. Well, you know, we'll do another program. Well, we already got one other program in the works. And
Yeah.
I'm going to just come up with another one on composting, because composting is actually pretty cool, and I'm just going to make a plug for the environmental club here at our high
good.
school.
Yeah.
Because we are now composting every day all the food scraps from the kitchen.
Oh, that's excellent.
And the kids are doing a great job with it. And Danny Hellier was involved in the beginnings of that, and it's actually come to fruition, and they're doing a great job.
That's excellent.
Just quickly, Center for EcoTechnology is based in Florence. You're connected to not just Home MPG, but you're involved in a lot of other projects. Just give us a quick overview of that.
Yeah, our mission is really to utilize the technology, current technology that's out there, current strategies, to help people and businesses in Western Massachusetts find practical ways to be sustainable. So our focus is really on those measures that you can take as an individual or a business owner that make your life better while also protecting the earth. So winterization and weatherization is one of those things where you're doing good for the earth, but you're also going to see lower utility bills and your house is going to feel a lot warmer. So those kind of solutions are really what we're trying to encourage, trying to facilitate. And we're working all the way out in the Berkshires, as I said, with schools, with kids, with adults, a lot with seniors, and just trying to kind of collectively together reduce the energy that we're using in Western Mass and reduce our waste. So it's really
So you're
exciting.
a young person. I mean, do you sort of get the sense that people are like beginning to get the message, or?
Oh, what a tough question. I do. I think I've seen a shift in the last few years. I think a lot of times the message becomes negative. So it is about sacrifice and putting more effort in sustainable actions. If you think about some of the things that really reduce energy. So I think CET has this positive spin where it's about making your life better as well as helping the earth. And I think that's the message that's really resonating right now with people. But I also think in this area in particular, we've had tornadoes and hailstorms and October snowstorms, and we've been hurting. You know, it's been a really tough couple of years for us, and I think it's getting harder and harder to not sense that we need to do something and that we need to protect ourselves against what's coming.
Well, so there you go, Kate. Thank you so much. Again, the number 413-586-7350, extension 229. That's the Center for EcoTechnology. Give them a call. Take advantage of this, please. And this is a great thing for East Longmeadow communities and the other 7 surrounding towns that are participating in this. And you know, now's the time to take advantage of it. So we'll have you back. We'll talk about now it used to be the Restore.
Eco-building bargains.
Eco-building bargains, some other
Yeah.
things you're involved in, and then we'll talk about composting.
Sounds
But again,
great.
thanks so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
That's it for this edition of On the Town. I'm Don Mackey, and we'll see you next time.